In today's episode, I'm going to break down a framework and a skill set that you can use to make speaking easier and increase your sales. So I'm going to give you this framework I call the STORM method. It's to guarantee that you never have a bad speech. Don't try to be somewhere and make this yours. This ain't yours. This is mine. You better put some respect on it. Whenever I go into any speech, I already know what is the outcome I want. Because let's just say I thought I was going to have an hour, but you told me you had to cut things short to get back on schedule. If I don't have an outcome or a target, I can't focus in. So now all you got to do is say, okay, cool. I'm going to start with the outcome in mind. So we got the S is the subject, T is for the target, the O is for the outcome, the R is for research and relevance, and the M is for the moment. If you're watching this video, you're about to make a whole lot of money. Welcome back to another episode of Monetize with Marcus. I'm your host, Marcus Rozier. So this is a continuation of last episode. So we kind of got into it. I think we got stuck on the panel. I think I had PTSD or something. I got stuck and was snapping about things to do on a panel and things to do within interviews. But now let's talk about things to do from the stage that will help you with your sales. So I'm going to give you this framework I call the STORM method. So write this down, the STORM method. It's to guarantee that you never have a bad speech. Something that I use all the time. I use it in speaking. So let's say someone invites you in to speak. And most people do the same talk all the time. I don't. It just depends on how I'm feeling. You know, I'll come up with different ideas, concepts that I want to present. There's so many angles I can go into space. So let's say that you invited me and said, Marcus, I want you to come and talk about business. Well, business is too broad. So I can't successfully win and have a great speech. If I talk about business, I'll be all over the place. You ever heard somebody speak and you remember what a few points, but not really the whole idea? It's because it's like trying to serve somebody instead of steak and mashed potatoes, steak and ice cream. You like both, you just don't like the way it's put together. That's what it is when you got great information, but it's not organized correctly. The human brain cannot process all these disjointed stories. They're trying to follow you over here. Yeah, I remember when this, you didn't finish that. So I want to show you, if someone, let's kick with this example, told you to talk about business, business is the subject. Now we're going through the STAR method. So in order to have a successful speech, I got to then say, okay, cool, I'll come and talk about business. I got to go from the S, which is a subject, and form a topic. So now I'll say, okay, business is a subject. The topic I'm going to talk about is how to grow your business using marketing strategies and Facebook ads. Now I got a very clear topic. Now the topic is not about a title. I tell somebody that's different. How to win with friends. No, that's a title. I'm talking about the topic in your mind that let me say it this way. Instead of topic, let's say target. So you got a subject, but from the subject, you need a bullseye, something that your mind is pointing at, and that your job is to point at it and send people to the same target. So the subject is business. The target is to teach everybody how to successfully run Facebook ads to grow their business. You see how we took one aspect of business to direct them. So you got a subject. You did in your mind say, okay, that's my target. Now the O in this whole thing is the outcome. What's the outcome that you want people to get from the subject was business, the target was how to use Facebook ads to grow your business. The outcome now is what do you want? By the time they leave from listening to you, what do you want them to do next? Now I know you want to make money, but I mean, what is in it for them? Whenever I go into any speech, I already know what is the outcome I want. Because let's just say I thought I was going to have an hour, but you told me you had to cut things short to get back on schedule. If I don't have an outcome, I can't or a target, I can't focus in. So now all you got to do is say, okay, cool. You want me to go an hour, 2 hours, or 20 minutes? I'm going to start with the outcome in mind. And I can guarantee that I'm on target with my subject. I got a clear target. Now I know an outcome. Now here go the big one. Remember STAR method. S is for subject. T is for the target. O is for the outcome. What's the R? The R, we're gonna hit you with a double R. And I don't mean rest and relaxation or Rick Ross. We'll hit you with the double R or Rolls Royce. Double R is research and relevance. Typically, you're always reading something or learning something, but you don't want to bring everything you've learned, everything you read to one talk because you sound smart, but it's disjointed. This is normally when people mess up in speaking. They try to tell everything they know, but it's not relevant to their target. It's not relevant to their outcome. This is the biggest make or break moment. So out of all of your research, you start deciding what doesn't go with it based on its relevance to your outcome and to your target. See how they all come together? We got a subject. This is what I'm talking about, business. The target, Facebook ads to grow your business. The outcome. I want everyone to walk away knowing how to successfully run a Facebook ad and be able to generate traffic into their funnel. My research might tell me about segmentation, and it might talk about how to lower costs. Well, I don't want to talk about lowering costs when I'm teaching them how to run one for the first time. Cost is not relevant to it at that time. So I might say, okay, how to optimize, how to scale it. No, I want to start with how to load a pixel on your page. The basics is relevant to the outcome and to the target. So that's how I know what to share. And then here goes the M. So we got the S is the subject, T is for the target, the O is for the outcome, the R is for research and relevance, and the M is for the moment. The moment is that sticking power. It's the way that you make everybody take you with them. It's the thing that they walk away remembering. You want to be intentional about framing it. You don't leave up to chance what people walk away with. Make them walk away with it. When you remember that Kevin Hart thing where he kept saying, all right, all right, all right. Well, that's the moment. Out of an hour segment, he repeated it so much that it became the moment. Now, you can have a moment in the beginning where you put emphasis on your introduction. You can have a moment in the middle where you put emphasis then, or at the end. You choose where you want it, and it becomes the core part that everybody walks away with because you're redundant with it. You're intentional with it. Never leave up the chance the moment, because that's how you start getting those shareable moments. That's how people start posting you on their Facebook, on their Instagram, tagging you on their story because you were intentional about the moment. So ladies and gentlemen, if you were trying to develop a skill set because now you've grown your business, and you have the skill of running a company, but not the skill of speaking, the STORM method will help you. Now here's what I'm going to tell you to do. Don't try to be somewhere and make this yours. This ain't yours. This is mine. Don't be out here stealing. Yeah, let me tell y'all about the STORM method. You better put some respect on it. It belongs to me. And it's something I've been doing for years because I spoke so much. So think about here's how this came to be. 2015, wrote quite a few books, jumped out into this space. By 2016, traveled to over 30 countries speaking. So imagine the speed in which I was having to do interviews and speaking engagements. I needed a way to get it done faster. I got to speak at 10. I got to speak again at 1. Even today that I'm filming these podcasts, this morning I spoke for our church, the Epic Nation. So that's a whole nother train of thought. Then we're filming today multiple podcast episodes. How do I organize the train of thought to make sure that I'm systemized? The STORM method. I knew I want to talk about speaking to you. That's the subject. I knew I had a target to teach you how to use speaking to sell from the stage and develop a skill set. What's the outcome? To give you the STORM method to take with you. What's the research and relevance? And what's the moment? The moment now, you're going to walk away remembering this. So last but not least, I'm going to hit you with this. This is going to change the game for you. You ready? You ready? You ready? This is how the human brain, this is what I study. People don't realize I'm more of a speaker than anything else. My whole business is built around the basis of my ability to speak. So I have the advantage of that's my joint. So when we start talking about the moment and using this STORM method, you have to think about it's not what you say, but it's how a person hears what you say that's important. Communication is not done until the intention of the communicator and the intention of the receiver is both satisfied. So it's not satisfaction when I say what I want to say until you hear it in the way in which I meant for you to hear it. Okay? So listen to this. The human brain is something that I call person, place, and power. Processes all memories by person, place, power. Don't forget it. Person, place, power. PPP, and I'm not talking about the funding, right? All right. Person, place, power. What's that? If you were to talk about something you remember, let's say from a conference, you'll say, remember that time that Marcus was speaking? Marcus is a person. Where at? When we were at whatever the name of the conference, that's the place. And then you would talk about, and he was talking about the STORM method. That's the power of the influence. Man, remember was at the corner store, me and you? Okay, you and the person. Man, when was that Shad's wedding? I'm making up a name. Remember was that Shad's wedding? We were at Shad's wedding. That's the person. The place is Shad's wedding. And then they'll tell you what they remember. That's the power. When you are trying to sell from stage, you have to connect to people beyond that present moment. So you position your speech and your sales strategy under person, place, and power. That you use body language, inflections, ideas, concepts to make it to where they remember you, the person, You bring into light the significant things in the place to make the place important, and you reiterate with your STORM method the power. And just like that, ladies and gentlemen, you now own what I call mental real estate in someone's mind that they can't forget you because you have now impacted person, place, and power. I'll see you in the next episode of Monetize Markets. I hope that the STORM method benefits you like it has benefited me, and that you can develop your skill set as a speaker by simply using it. If this is helpful to you, you can go to monetizemarkets.com/podcast. And on there, I'm going to make sure that we upload some resources for you to help you as a speaker. We're going to remove all the ums, the ahs, the nom sayings, and make sure that you are now growing your skill set and growing your sales using speaking. I'll see you in the next episode.